Welcome to the BAPS Better Living podcast. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with us today. Each episode in this podcast aims to inspire us to take a step back from our busy lives and to actively listen to content that can enlighten us towards expanding our consciousness and deepening our spirituality. Listen in and let this episode inspire you. Let it encourage you to have fruitful introspections, and most importantly, let it help you be better and do better.
I was seated at the dinner table with my family one evening, and I found my niece and I engaged in a deep conversation. The adored 5-year-old explained to me that her parents only loved her this much today, while putting her hands about a foot apart. When I inquired more about this, she explained that she wasn't doing a good job with her listening, which for her equated to her parents loving her a little less than the day before. When I heard this, I realized that she had a misconception about the concept of unconditional love. I wanted her to be able to differentiate between not making good choices and unconditional love. So I began demystifying her misunderstanding by clarifying that regardless of whether she makes negative choices or even if she is reprimanded, we still love her unconditionally. I explained that loving someone unconditionally means that you love them no matter what. Therefore, our love for her will never cease. Later that evening, my niece approached me and she asked, "Can you read this book to me, please?" This was a request that I often received from her because she loves being read to. I smiled and I picked her up, and with both her and the book in my lap, I began with the title, Guess How Much I Love You, by Sam McBratney and illustrated by Anita Jeram. When I completed the book, I realized the story of two nut brown hares was trying to quantify love. I love you right up to the moon and back. Now, the moon is 238,885 miles away. And considering the phrase includes and back, we're talking a very large number. However, as I stepped away from the conversation, I began to wonder about what it truly means to love someone unconditionally, without conditions or barriers, no matter what the challenge or the circumstance. Can we, in fact, quantify love? If so, how is love measured? With these questions came more introspection. Who are the people in my life that I love without barriers, without any conditions? Well, my parents, my best friends, my nieces, and my gurus, Pramukh Swami Maharaj and Mahant Swami Maharaj. However, upon further thought, I realized that I only love them this much. What is pure and true unconditional love? How does it look? What does it feel like? Pure unconditional love comes from a heart that is genuine, that's honest, egoless, and spiritually connected to God. And such a heart I have found in my Guru, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, for his love was unbiased, authentic, and full of compassion for all. Pramukh Swami Maharaj was once departing from his visit to Bochasan, a town in Gujarat, India. Some devotees had been gathered around for their final farewells, except one elderly devotee named Manibai, who sat quietly in a corner. No one bothered to call him over or inquire why he was sitting alone, while everyone shared this very special and emotional moment. It appeared he was invisible to all those around him. However, he was not invisible to Pramukh Swami Maharaj. He walked towards Manibai and lovingly put his hand on his head. Manibai had a visual impairment and didn't have any sight. Manibai asked, "Who is this?" a soothing voice responded, "It's me, Pramukhswami." Those 4 comforting words filled Manibhai's eyes with tears of happiness. He was utterly lost for words. He wept as his guru caressed his head with love. Manibhai felt valued, and he felt the unconditional and unbiased love of Pramukhswami Maharaj. Unconditional love looks like taking the shoes off your feet to give to someone walking barefoot in the hot sun. It sounds like recalling how someone takes their tea after many years. It feels like being seen when sitting out of focus, quietly in a corner. Unconditional love is compassionate, it's forgiving, and it's impartial. Pramukhswami Maharaj showered love on everyone, regardless of age, caste, creed, status, or gender. It was unbiased, non-discriminatory, and genuine. The love of Pramukhswami Maharaj cannot be measured, just as an ocean cannot be measured. Its vastness, depth, breadth, it's too grand to be measured. When you think you have all the measurements figured out, you see more and more water, or more and more love. Once, Pramukhswami Maharaj met with a group of villagers. Now, these villagers, they did not possess much money, and the folks, they lived quite modestly. Some even had no homes. Yet, when they spent time with Pramukhswami, they felt joy. They felt cared for and loved. They experienced the same love from Pramukhswami Maharaj that my family and I, along with countless others, have felt. Whether meeting the President of the United States of America or the people of a small village in India, all have felt his equanimous love. I have learned and experienced the beautiful ocean of love from Pramukhswami Maharaj. I've been colored by his guidance and his selfless care. In my youth, I made many mistakes when in the not-so-great company of my peers. Due to those mistakes, I sometimes felt that I was not worthy of Pramukhswami Maharaj's kind and pure love. I'd wonder, how could such a great soul have love for me even when I have erred so much? But that's who he was. He had this unique ability to make everyone feel valued, no matter who you were or what you had done. I have encountered the love of my father and my mother. I have felt love in the form of protection from my brother, the innocent love from my nieces when I walk through the door, and the deep, passionate love of a partner. All of these forms of love are magnificent, and they are all available to me. However, when I reflect on the experiences of Pramukhswami Maharaj's life, I am reminded of how to love selflessly and unconditionally by showing up and extending kindness, understanding, and forgiveness. I am reminded of the importance of non-judgmental love and the acceptance of all people. The endless unconditional love showered by Pramukhswami Maharaj is an evergreen motivator for me to live a life more loving and more fulfilled.
We hope you enjoyed this Better Living episode and that it added value to your life. All the content on this channel, including this episode, is created and managed entirely by Swamis and volunteers of BAPS from around the world. Our volunteers are continuously inspired by the sincere, transparent, and selfless lives of Pramukhswami Maharaj, the late Guru of BAPS, and Mahan Swami Maharaj, the current Guru of BAPS. Their character, their teachings, and their service to humanity have inspired millions of people of all backgrounds, faiths, and cultures throughout the world. They have encouraged all, regardless of one's beliefs, to live a mindful, balanced, and harmonious life. The episodes in this Better Living podcast are directly inspired by their teachings. If you enjoyed this episode and would like more content that inspires you to be better and to do better, follow us on Instagram and YouTube by searching for BAPS Better Living. Thanks again for choosing to spend your time with us today.